It's a bit difficult right now with the double weeks.
Yeah, I mean, basically. I'm looking at it right now. I only see one Thatcher ban from EG so far for NA. It's actually been a lot of Monty and Maestro, Mira, Jackal, things like that. Nomad as well. So it's been a little bit all over the place. But yeah, I don't have the stats up, but I can see some. This is typical, though, for this map, of course, because you want to control the hatches. Mostly the server hatch, for example, going down is a big one. But, of course, that means Maverick going to be a huge play.
The big question now is Lion. No, Jackal.
Okay, well.
Makes sense. We were expecting one of these operators to be removed.
That means Lion and Dokkaebi then available. So roamers are going to have a fun time either way. We'll see what they're going to go with next. Now, of course, that means DarkZero planning to try and do some roaming. And
you bet Mira against Slash.
Now, Echo or Maestro. Echo has been played a lot in the garage on defense. So it's, I don't know. Rogue are defending first, so Maestro it's going to be. They want to play that Echo. Not a huge surprise.
He's a good up boy.
He's not as... I'd say Echo's a bit stronger on this map, it seems, a lot of the time than Maestro.
To have... Well, because not only can you see things with the camera, but you can also react, right?
Yeah.
You can stun, you can force yourself out of it.
A lot of situations where you need to buy yourself time and delay, and there are sometimes, depending on the site, spots you can kind of play a little safer.
I mean, Empire and EU definitely used that to their advantage. If you look at even last week.
Absolutely.
So definitely something to fear when it comes to playing against really any team.
Now, is Vertical going to stick that? We have seen a fair amount of Mozzie and Gridlock play, which has been interesting to have them kind of come out of the gate swinging in terms of play. Like, especially a lot of Gridlock, especially in the EU. But nope, it's going to be 6-pick to the other drone denial operator of Mute. And, I mean, I guess you can really go with either one depending on almost the gun preference in a way, and also depending on how you want to use it. The big difference, of course, is Mozzie cannot deny walls being opened, whereas Mute can deny walls being opened and deny drones. So depending on the site and whether or not you need to lock down walls, Mute can be a bit stronger. We will have a Valkyrie as well for some intel combined with the Pulse and the Echo. So there will be a lot of intel on the defender side despite the Maestro ban. And surprising to see, we were predicting a Dokkaebi or a Lion, but we are not going to see that from DarkZero. However, this is a bomb site where you don't get as many roamers, and they know this is going to be the first site for most teams. So I would imagine on the other bomb sites, you might see a bit more of that roam control come out.
It really depends on the setup that you're running here, but having the Echo, having the Pulse, and the Mute, it all makes sense when it comes to your preparation.
I like the wire.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch there, just in terms of slowing down, because you see so many Echoes trying to fight that spot. Their inability to peek that quickly could come in handy, if they even bother with it, of course.
Gives you more options.
Absolutely.
Slowing down your opponent.
Of course, that's, you know, assuming you have a spare barbed wire to place down, but apparently they do, and that's part of the strategy. That definitely means that we're going to see some garage play likely from that Echo. He wants to sit safe, too. That's the big thing, is you want to be able to sit in the garage and just dissuade them from pushing it so you can hang out there as long as possible.
So BC unsure of who's upstairs. If there is anyone upstairs, he'll throw his drone out first and then immediately turn away to pre-fire anybody who would like to peek him or jump against him on the window. It's just, this is what you do early on if you're DarkZero, any of your team really, to avoid any unnecessary runouts. A lot of the utilities being scanned and set up, but you understand Rogue want to play this turtle style. There's no reason for them to get even more aggressive.
Luckily for Eclipse, he hasn't been on his heartbeat sensor for them to catch that just yet. Smart of him to sit there, like, not on it at this moment when they're going to be scanning, especially if they know that there's the IQ. But that's going to make Echo's job a bit harder.
They're wasting no time at all. They're going to open up the Skylight hatch, so DarkZero, they know that there's nobody now downstairs in servers. Yep, there's no need to fear. So they can just completely take control. It took a minute and a half to clear everything.
That's typical efficiency.
Yep, there was nothing really to fight against. So right now, all utilities being cleared. And DarkZero alongside Hot and Cold are just opening up the walls. They're preparing everything. In the meantime, the Maverick should be opening up some holes for DZ to use later. This
is an interesting match in terms of the fact that Rogue are just completely playing passive, just waiting for the moment to strike, and either it's going to work really well, and DarkZero are just going to get pushed back and delayed, but they're already planting the diffuser. Shuttle doesn't realize it. Where is the intel? Where is the call-outs?
Hello? Eclipse? Where's your
Okay, there we go. The smokes finally stopped them there, but that Eclipse is definitely the one who's supposed to be making those call-outs. That was a little suspect, but we have the Echo as well here. He is watching. They are going for plant again. Actually, they're just delaying. They're trying to buy as much time on each of these. Just like when you have an Echo drone waiting, Hot and Cold actually does get down. This is not going terrible.
Was that a nitro or any sort of utility use?
I'm assuming the gas downed him.
The Valkyrie camera is still in the back, so it's definitely doing a ton of work. And third one should stick here.
You better time this right.
Yeah, it's
subtle.
done. And finally he gets dropped, but that's basically the life of a planter at this point. Nix goes in, he knows he has the extra HP to get it all done. Mid will find one, and Hyper cutting off one and the second as well in the rotation. Double kill for the newcomer. Maverick Guardian opened up a tiny hole for him to use. BC use the hash to his advantage, living only shuttle alive, but not too long. It's BC from the open office here, an open area, just finding the kill, cleaning things up. DarkZero as clear as it can be. This is very clean.
Yeah, that was... It's almost like we weren't watching Rogue play.
No.
Like, at all. It was just throwing some smoke out, and then those rotations just getting slaughtered by Mint. That was, I don't know, that was awkward for them to be playing, just because it didn't seem like they had the intel on DarkZero in terms of playing it. They didn't stop the plant from going down, for example. I mean, they did a few times where they just were able to delay it a little bit. But again, the intel was obviously lacking in their ability to rotate, and I gotta put that down to the IQ spotting black eyes that they obviously would have counted on for those rotations. Not to mention you're not going to be able to hide any yokais around either. So Nix on the IQ I think made a huge difference in that round in stopping Rogue from being able to play for a retake scenario. But I think that was their big mistake. Playing for retake in that situation was not the best play. They really needed to burn a lot more time initially. I mean, I appreciate the turtle defense. But not burning any initial time during the droning phase, letting DarkZero have such a smooth execute, I think really made it harder for them to be able to do anything about it because, you know, DarkZero were able to get into all the positions, they were able to get set up, they were able to clear all the utility, they were able to just get everything done to make the post plant in their favor, and that's where Rogue needed to have the time burned off so that DarkZero were rushing to get into those positions so that they could be caught off guard, so that they didn't have time to sit there and spot every single gadget and take it out. So, yeah, it's just, I think letting them do that without having any kind of roam or anything like that, they have no roam control operators. I know it's risky to play with a roamer, but if you have some good players on here who can make it back to site potentially, you don't have to take engagements. You could take pre-fires and maneuver into spots just as long as you don't get pinched and buy your team time. But again, DarkZero just doing a smooth job on this drone. You see him clearing out room after room, just efficient. And of course, you have to practice that as a team. You really need to know who drones where. Yeah. Where do you place your drones when you're entering? Like at the very beginning of the prep phase, you place them on entry points. You place them on points where they're hidden, but you know where you need to drone quickly. And on a map this big, that's essential. But thankfully, this is one of the oldest maps in the pool, and teams know it very well at this point. There hasn't been any real changes to it, so should be pretty efficient. Again, Rogue not doing anything to stop this.
This is, I'm very curious because it works when you don't do anything below, but so far it seems like you're repeating the same thing. Ah, well, there's the big difference.
Vertical playing in servers, yeah.
Exactly. So that's what you're trying to do, but he's solo. He's trying to burn time, but nope. Actually, DarkZero are faster. They're 10 seconds faster this time than they were before.
Yeah, because they know how they played it last time, and they're just seeing a repeat of that. So this is, yeah, they're not burning any time here, and the IQ is just going to spot the yokai. There it goes. No, that's a black guy, I think.
Should get shot down here.
There
you go.
Nope.
There's a mute jammer behind the wall, so that's something you'll have to worry about, but you can skirt your way in.
There's a Thatcher as well, so easy peasy.
And there you go. It's all done. There's still the Valkyrie camera behind them, so that's something that at least the attacking side of DarkZero has not been able to find just yet. Han Cold would have... Oh, no! Passes through, and unfortunately, Nix has been shot down for just a second. Oh, no. He turns around.
Refrag, though.
That's a pretty quick kill for DarkZero here to refrag. At least try to take down the Echo, and that was a huge kill. The Echo is a very important operator for your defense. And now you lose him. You don't have anything to run against your opponents. Sure, you have nitro cells. That's definitely
it's like 3 C4s and smokes, though.
But the utility is definitely going to be burned out. A single EMP, there we go, burn away anything left. There's still one more as well to use later on for the Thatcher. Can even disable the pulse.
What's going to be important, though, is we have Vertical trying to set up for a rotate at this point. And last time they really failed on the rotation. I think they need to be rotating a little bit earlier during this to kind of distract the flankers. But this push here into the site... The double kill. Beautiful play from both Nix and BC, leaving easily in Vertical. Last two alive, and they're very far away. Just because the
attacking side of DarkZero just leaving one player, BC in this case, on the site, then all they have to do is just sit back, relax, and get into position in their post-plant spots. They have a Capital as well. Everything is going up DC, and Hyper even coming around from the backside to go for the flank. Mint waiting for information as Nyx as well is downstairs. They'll both try to pre-fire their opponents. They'll lose one. Mint and Hyper will refrag very quickly. That was only a down even. Easily in vertical, eliminated in DarkZero with a very easy second round here. Pretty much a repeat of what we had in round number 1.
I know we overused the term asleep at the wheel, but boy, does that describe Rogue that round and the previous round. It just, I mean, we're used to seeing chaotic firefights towards the end. It feels like DarkZero's just walking into rooms and being like, hey guys, oh, by the way, I'm going to shoot you now. It doesn't seem like they're really being contested outside of that fight with Slash. I mean, that was a great initial kill, but Slash repeaking that, he is, as you said, very important to the plays later on. Not to mention his ability to see in there takes some of the work off of Pulse in terms of watching from the Gold Vault, but they're not really doing anything to counter. This is not the site they should be playing. It really shows that is actually the weakest site for them with the way that DarkZero has been executing on. So they're going to go CEO this time. Smart play. You don't want to keep going down there, but the operator bans didn't really do anything for Rogue in terms of making this doable. In fact, it just seems like they're getting rolled over with very little contest, no real rotates coming out from Rogue of any significance. I mean, I thought we were going to see it that time. We saw vertical rotating early, trying to do something, but then just kind of stopped. They're just watching for rotates from DarkZero.
I mean, the mute was in a position, but the problem is, if you don't have any pressure on blue or anywhere else in the map, what happens is that you can't really do much in server. You're going to get eliminated from there at some point, especially when you're facing Capital. It's literally designed to clear you out of this position.
Well, and the thing is, the big risk, of course, of focusing your attention on the plant the way that normally everyone plants default is the hatch above you on server. If you can retake that position, you can start to put a lot of pressure on them, but instead, DarkZero was left to just hold that hatch the whole time. There was no real contest in the square skylight lobby, nothing to really take their focus off of that and be able to maybe even retake that. That's part of how you can go for a retake. They're just not applying any pressure at all. And I got to question what the comms are like even on Rogue at this point. I mean, is it just snoring?
Drone spinning up.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's harsh, but I feel like we're seeing Rogue laying prone more than doing anything else. So, I mean, we'll see how this round goes. CEO is definitely a different bomb site, played a different way. It is still a little bit turtle. There is usually some people playing elevator and, you know, somewhat the top of the staircase. Things like that to be able to try and fight a little bit. But overall, it is still also somewhat of a turtle defense, though. We'll see if they're able to take things like the janitor closet or be able to even put some pressure on the windows like we see it from a lot of teams, trying to put pressure on the actual CEO office itself. So far, just the old drone clear. Again, DarkZero not bothering with any roam clear utility, just drones. And again, seemingly uncontested by Rogue. Outside of shuttle this time, instead of the mute, they are going to be bringing the Mozzie. We'll see if they capture any drones with that. Maybe that will be a little bit of a game changer here, but I have a feeling he's just going to get into firefights as he's still carrying one pest in his pocket.
You can definitely use that for any holes that are opened up later on. For example, any thermite breaches or such. The shuttle is actually going to stay on the ground. And he's going to try to instantly pest. Oh, no, he hits the side.
That's like a goo mine when you just throw it and hit the edge of a door or something.
He can pick it up, so. But, I mean, that's the good thing about it.
Yeah. But again, it will be spotted by Nyx on the IQ. I think this IQ definitely really working against whatever they seem to do here. Is it, again, is going to spot the Yokais, and that's going to stop them from denying his plan.
And will the Mozzie actually peek up and go for the kill? Hot and Cold is currently uncontested. And there's the diffuser. 5v5, barely any damage done with a ton of time. I genuinely don't know what's going on here. Pre-fire to the side of the wall here into Janitor. And DarkZero just keep on the pressure. Their opponent's trying to peek against them, but this reverse repel is very difficult to deal with. The angle that you can see on the repel versus any player downstairs is much higher than what they can see against you. Peek from the dock as Eclipse is now low on HP. He'll try to heal himself back up, and he'll even go for the double boost. He's going to go for a big fight against Nixon. There's not much time left. He'll find the kill and turns in 1v3. Mint is all on his own. He can try to defend this for as long as possible, but he doesn't really have the utility for it. He pre-fires right to the side as the diffuser goes down, but it hits the headshot on vertical, and that's all she wrote for the round. No more time left. Eclipse finds the kill, but that's not the play. Unfortunate for Rogue. They wake on up at the end, but the Pulse or the castle in this case, too far away to do anything. The whole thing was supposed to be dive out and try to go for a fight against anyone on the window. That's exactly what happened, but the Zofia played it perfectly.
After those last 2 rounds, how do you go ahead and leave another plant 5v5? That's the story of these matches, is 5v5 plants continuously. I mean, there's not always exactly that, but it's close enough to just being like, how often do we see matches where they're just allowed to, you know, go for sight uncontested every round, a seeming retake scenario? Yes, that was a better retake than previous, and they are going to shake things up to where they're going to have Eclipse on the Echo, and then Slash is going to go for a roaming Vigil. So this could be the difference maker, but they are, again, trying CEO. I would really like to see a different Rogue this round. Let's get some kills going out, I don't know, maybe before they plant, just for a change of pace. I mean, it's almost frustrating to watch Rogue playing so passive and not succeeding with it.
Because they are known, I mean, at least in the past, Rogue being a very active team.
And they've alternated. They've really kind of alternated back and forth since bringing more fraggers onto the team with Vertical and Shuttle. They should be a little more active, just because that is somewhat the strength of those players. But we see a lot of it ending up on Slash and Eclipse, for example. However, you know, they, as a team, generally are more active, at least leading up to the plant. I can imagine the Slash could be a big difference maker this round, though, if he's able to play uncontested. However, they are still running the IQ. This time, though, Nick's going to be on Ashe instead. But they still absolutely could spot Slash on his roam when he's using that cloak. So we'll see Nyx, though, playing on this Ashe instead. Going to go for some long angle peeks there. Still playing the ACOG, just had to switch which gun it's on. We'll see if they're able to pick apart Rogue a little bit more this time. Slash already taking some damage, though. So his roam going to be a little bit stunted. He's just needing to buy time at this point. They did get somewhat close to actually managing to defuse it last round, but that was definitely a situation where they knew it was coming and they just fire through the propped up table. Easy kill. Slash, though, playing a little aggressive. However, they are watching these skylights. He's going to have to be really careful here. Again, could be spotted by Mint here.
That's really what you're looking for. At least something, some movement. And Slash picking up the Vigil in this situation makes a lot of sense. You need a lot of support as well from your teammates, so Yokai drones are also great in this situation.
The Black Eyes especially, I think you're going to assist him a lot.
Yep. So a combination of just pure info to ferry back to him is definitely something that he's looking for, and that's an adaptation that Rogue very clearly is making well. Slash, a long angle peek actually for Hollow, but he still beats out Hyper, eliminating a huge operator as the Capital.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of the plant. They have no other smoke or anything else to cover the plant, as well as no one to really put people out of positions because they have no grenades either. So it's actually a great initial kill for Slash.
Yep, finally see the momentum, at least for one round in the beginning, going the way of Rogue. Pre-fire by the wall, but you see this part is also reinforced, so all you have to do as defense is easily, in this case, just to fall back. The Mozzie wasn't really the play in this situation. Well, you know, as you saw in the previous round, a lot of times what Mozzie does is not just take control of the drones. That happens maybe once every round or once a couple rounds, but it allows the defenders to not have to worry about drones coming in from conspicuous angles.
Yeah, it allows you to sit in positions better, stop them from pre-firing you, things like that.
Exactly, and the fear, it's like mutually assured destruction. It really works very well for you at the end of it. So there's one in trading, and damage is still being done. Slash is on his own in that position, and there's 30 seconds left. So for once, this kind of tactic is working out very, very well for Rogue. Nick's trying to lurk around the barbed wire, but easily will find the kill on Hot and Cold. The Yokai drone is spotting Nyx. He'll pre-fire and actually find Eclipse, but it gets downed from behind by Shuttle. Mint will find another one on easily. A 2v3 as time is running out. 10 left. Headshot from Shuttle. Well done. BC's all on his own. This round is as good as dead, and no one will peek against the Yeg himself. There you go. That's the end of the round. Well done. Rogue won it all off of time and off of role play combined with information gathering. Yeah, that's how it should be done.
Slash, the big difference maker that round, and that's what I was hoping to see, is he is a good roamer on the Vigil. We've seen him do that before, and this is a map that really supports roaming, so to play it so passive, especially with Jackal banned and them not really having anything, not playing a Lion or a Dokkaebi, it just seems like a huge wasted opportunity not to do it. Slash gonna at least tease the Vigil, if not play it again this time, but this time for Tellers, They learned their lesson downstairs and not going to go there again, although they might if they win this round and have to rotate. I doubt they want to go to open area. We're going to see the 6th pick for the castle here. And Nick's actually sneaking in that IQ again, so not going to have Mint playing on it this time. But the roaming, that was the real highlight of last round. Not just because they did it, because of course he was successful at it. Slash living so long, you saw him in stock towards the end as well. Getting pre-fired a bit, but a lot of pre-fire attempts from DarkZero were just seemingly without a lot of good information. You saw them hitting reinforced walls, trying to find positions where Rogue were playing, and Rogue passivity working out that round only because they had enough players peeking or playing a little bit more flexible on the roam to be able to actually do something to keep them from getting any real map control and having to fire from windows. So we'll see how this round goes out, though, because you still have to control CEO, and that was something that they did struggle with a little bit, especially the first time they defended. But now you have to defend it and the tellers. So this is where roam's going to be even more important. And the big difference here for that roam, besides Slash, is now vertical on that Ella, not the dog.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Vertical is a very good roamer. In fact, when he was very first in the pro scene, I think that was one of the highlights. He was one of the first on NA to bring Caveira, for example. That was on Cafe, so really excellent plays there. Just proving his skills roamer. Nyx, though, with an early kill and Slash, so roam play not going to happen there. Gets a 2 for not looking good at all this round here. Nyx, one of the newer players on the team of DarkZero back when he got picked up, and still one of the strongest.
That's just a lot of damage, as they say, early on in the round. Shuttle is left on his own in open area here, but he's got an SMG-11, which you can definitely tap at range, but you're not really supposed to take these fights. At this point, with 2 players being lost, it's okay to engage, because the round is as good as lost.
Yeah, you just need Shuttle and Eclipse to hold sight, and then Vertical to go for flanks.
That's it. Point. Solved it. Why aren't you a coach?
I'm not allowed to be. I am doing this. I'm coaching them like this. I can watch the VOD. Because I totally know better than them, right?
Of course. That's how it works.
That's right.
So, Nyx will come in again at open area, and a bit of damage done here to the mute on the rotation. Just a pure random pre-fire and a headshot.
That's 3 from this one position.
They are
like within a 1-foot radius of movement. They're just feeding him at this point. Vertical. You might just want to hide and talk about the next round. This is not going well at all. And then a peeking Echo here, Eclipse. Eclipse, very good frag here, and this is a good flank. Finally, Nyx shut down, but too little too late. Plant's already down.
Diffuser's down. You have Hyper now with the utility. Mint's going to watch as well, the entrance to open area. There's rotation holes that you can use, but between Ellen and Echo, Echo is definitely the operator that you need to look for in this situation. Vertical actually takes down BC. That's a pretty big kill here, but the up above angle from Hyper, that's not something that you're expecting to hit with the Evo. And Hunt called for the last here in the Thermite with the 5.56. That's really all zeroed for the whole round.
Yeah.
Just DZ at the helm.
I still got to credit, though, Rogue, while they lost it pretty handedly, they were playing a bit more aggressive. They were actually trying to deny entry into open area and things like that. I think that was the right play, but they lost their gunfights. They didn't have good entry intel on Nyx coming in. Now, of course, they might have had a black eye around that he spotted and was able to take out because he did 6 pick over to the IQ, so they didn't necessarily know he was going to be coming in with that. But that being said, that setup did not work. He still was able to get in pretty easily and then frag out. I mean, it's Nyx. He is a very good entry fragger.
Oh,
it's not a huge surprise whether he be on IQ or Ash. He comes in with a 3-speed. You're probably going to die. They needed something better to do something about it. Vertical, though, going to be the one to take up the mantle with the 6th pick of Vigil this time. Good choice there. Slash going to go back on that Echo. No, again, they're going back down to the basement. A site they have barely even played at this point in terms of their actual output. But
hey, man, I'm not running the barbecue tonight, so.
You know what? If they'd show me a bit more to talk about, I'd have something else to say. Still, though.
Hey, man, kiss the cook.
I don't even know what you mean by that. What? No, I know the saying. But
that's
it. I mean, are you offering to kiss me?
Would you be willing?
All right, click that. That's a promise.
At this point, I don't think anyone would be surprised. That's it. I think the most surprising thing is that Rogue aren't really doing much.
I hope Vertical could be the game changer this round, the way that Slash had been somewhat to an extent on CEO before, because Slash can now focus on doing the Echo thing, and I think Vertical, like I said, being a very good roamer. But again, you got to watch out for Nyx. He has just completely been their kryptonite, and his ability to spot, you know, Vertical still on roam potentially, as well as being able to spot Eclipse and the Yokais, it's just going to make this so hard for them to do anything. These angles, though, being fought this time, Slash still taking a bit of damage, but at least not dying and doing some damage to Nyx. Now they just need to finish the job, and I think Rogue will have much more of a fighting chance here. But that's on Vertical, who's given away his position a little bit with the shot there. He is still at least going to put some pressure on them because he can come from above onto the entrance to the server stairs from the square skylight, and that could be a big problem, but they have so many people down there to be able to watch that. I'm not sure that's going to be a huge problem for them unless he times it right with their execute. They don't have the hatch open, though, either. That's the big difference, is Vertical cannot use that hatch because they didn't open it.
They're literally getting faster. Like,
yeah. This is just a practice run for them at this point. It's like the gym, but Slash, again, doing the same thing he did previously, which is doming hot and cold as he tries to plant.
There's no follow-up possible here by the AQ. Vertical will try to pre-fire, and he will find it. Oh, a lot of damage done to Vertical.
A little bit slow on that shot, though. He did take a lot back.
Almost dead here, but because the hatches are not open, as you mentioned, it's going to be a bit more complicated for the roam play here to work. This is still... Oh, shot in dead air. Well done. Nyx barely alive.
Yep. Vertical and Slash, though, are the game changers this round, and they're still alive but low on health. DarkZero needs to find some way to take them out or nullify them, but there's still intel in the favor of Rogue. Slash did get down, though. This is a big problem here. Hopefully they have some C4, or at least some smokes left. There's a C4.
Oh!
Nice try, BC.
How many can you get? It's like a game of whack-a-mole multiple times.
Well, they play so many C4 operators. Every single operator Rogue is playing is plant denial, essentially.
Well, Vertical is right up behind, but BC will still find a kill on Slash, so that's finally the downed Echo taken away, just pre-fired.
40 seconds and two players left, though, is not the play. And then there you go, down to one. Hyper going to get in the fight here in just a second. If he doesn't win it, it's over.
Oh, he gets it. Hyper still at full HP with 29 seconds left. Can pick up the diffuser and go for a Hail Mary here. He has the utility definitely for it. There's one bolt, two bolts being used. No fire bolts for that. These pre-fires into the Pulse and into the Valkyrie, but Shuttle dips in and out as he finds the last one. Rogue will secure a second round on the board. Not a moment too soon here for 4-2 at the half.
Yep, not the best position to be in, but, you know, it happens. And I got to say, at least they were able to adapt. Both the sites that they lost, they eventually were able to try and win, at least. Yeah, they did win CEO and did not win Tellers, but...
No, they only won CEO. That's the only other set that they won.
Two of the sites that they played the most. I mean, they played CCTV 3 times. 1 out of 3 is not good, but now outside Switch, we'll see how they play it out. The difference here for Rogue is they're going to be running a Nomad to try and help control those roamers, and Eclipse going to be 6th, picking over to the Thatcher. Good choice there to help out with the CCTV push. The Castle being stuck in from Nyx. Now, Castle on downstairs is one of those things you see occasionally, but there's a reason you don't see it all that often. It's just, I don't know, it's not the most effective operator compared to some of the other choices, but we'll see how Nyx plays it. It is one, though, he can get over-aggressive. I've criticized Nyx in the past for being operators like Echo and things like that, and being over-aggressive on defense. But an over-aggressive Castle is not a bad thing. And pro players, I mean, a lot of people criticize the for being, you know, a difficult gun sometimes to get a lot of kills with, but pro players with their ability to hit headshots with it, sometimes even at long range with a hollow, seems to not be a problem for them, and I don't think a problem for Nyx at all. 6 kills up there, BC at 5 as well, 6 for Hyper, who just enough points to move up above Hot and Cold as we're looking at it. So already, a couple of players with more kills on the board than anyone on Rogue. We'll see what they can do in terms of pressure onto the site and whether or not we'll see any roam coming out from DarkZero. I think could be a big difference here because I do see potential here for roam to come out, especially like I said from Nyx. Once he gets the castle barricade set up, as long as they don't need his impacts, he's, you know, that's an operator that's free to just take fights. I mean, yeah, you don't want to lose someone necessarily manpower-wise, but at the same time, I feel like Castle, you know, becomes just kind of useful as a fighter at some point. It's like when, you know, Thermite's done his job or Thatcher, and they can just kind of do their thing at that point. And since he does his during the prep phase, as long as you don't need him for impact denial, impact tricking kind of things, then let him have it. I think that's a good position for Nyx.
Yeah, you can really have him outside on the map. You can have him more of a close-up or more of a support operator, close to your other teammates. In general, a lot of flexibility. Now, Slash peeks on in and realized that not the entirety of the wall is opened up. I like this from DarkZero, but if you don't have the ability to rotate down ASAP, then it's not great. In this case, you've burned out a decent chunk of time. In just a bit, it'll be time for DarkZero to mosey on down to the site with the hatch they open up in the open area office. And Rogue are still unsure of what really to do. But
it could be partially due to the mute and the Mozzie being in play.
Exactly. Of course, the two operators synergize very well together. When one stops the... big words. One stops the drone, the other one takes control of it. It works out very well, especially on a basement like this where they're very confined. Slash is really unsure of who to check for and where to check for things.
Oh, Mint. He knows it's coming. The reckoning.
And it's time to run away. Easily is watching from above into servers, but actually there still is Nyx, you were mentioning, the player that you can kind of throw at the wind at this point, and that's the castle.
You see aggressive pulses playing that sometimes, but I don't think he really has the heartbeat sensor. Well played in the timing here. Shotguns dominate this for a good reason.
That's a swift kill for Mint. He'll find two now with
just keep
the drones as well.
Hungry boy.
And another one? No. Easily will not bite the dust. Not yet. Castle of Nixon just sitting around on server. That's more than enough work done. With 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, you killed the smoke, which is good, but losing the Capito, I think, is worse here for the setup. So far, though?
Yeah, no, this is not great at all. 20 seconds left. Shuttle has to go and pick up easily. He's low on HP. And there's Nitro Cell plus Yokai drones that can be readily available here in the back. No Thatcher that can be used. Yokai drone will be saved.
Why did you rotate it?
It was spotted. It was already going to get shot. That's something that...
Still going to hit him with the stun before rotating it.
Still, pre-fire here. Hyper will find 2 kills. Nitro Cell in the back. But it's more than enough. The time plus the Yokai drone will save the day. Round 7. By the way, DarkZero.
But no, my point is, in a situation like that, you don't rotate it like that without at least hitting the stun first to potentially throw off their aim, or you peek them. And most of the time when people are shooting a drone or shooting a camera or something like that, you can peek them, and they're busy looking at the thing they're shooting, especially a moving yokai. I mean, maybe someone else did. Obviously, we could only see from one point of view at that time, but I don't know. I think that would have been the play at that point. But either way, they still won, and that's all that matters. Is now it's 5-2. DarkZero 1 point away from match point, so 2 points away from taking this, getting a nice win. That would definitely really help them here at this point, just because not doing so great on the scoreboard. But this is only play day number 3. Similar lineup coming out here from Rogue to an extent. But now they're going to be bringing that Zofia instead of Thatcher on him, but instead having vertical play the Thatcher. Shuttle going to be the one on that IQ. Good lineup here. Changes on DarkZero, you're going to see the Doc and a Legion coming out, but still a Pulse, interestingly enough, for Nyx. Now, of course, he could have played the castle up here to some effect as well, to be able to deny lines of sight, for example. And then once those get opened, Hyper can play those with the ACOG, but they're just going to count on wooden barricades, I think, at this point to lock that out. So you see that works for them, but they are going to still play that Echo upstairs, because, of course, he generally can play a few different positions where he's not going to be picked apart too early. But there's no truly safe space if walls get opened from the square skylight side and you start to run out of positions you can play in safely, especially since Janitor Closet usually going to be taken as well. Goo Mines will help slow down Rogue a little bit, and Rogue weren't the fastest, most efficient on that last round, but there's no Mozzie and Mute this time, so I can imagine their drone efficiency should be a little bit better, but the smoothness we saw from DarkZero, I'd like to see that from Rogue, because DarkZero pretty much just looked like they were playing Terroristan at that point, just smooth through the map.
That's exactly what really has been transpiring so far. The big thing for DarkZero in this round compared to what we saw in the previous one is the fact that they're just running the bulletproof camera actually on the dock on Hyper.
Yeah.
So it's something that affords you more flexibility, more information gathering.
It's something DarkZero's done a lot of in the past.
I mean, you have a Pulse, you have an Echo, and you have a Legion. They're all designed for all of that to be done, and then you put a bulletproof camera and just make sure that you have clear usually that bulletproof camera is set on the hallway by 90. That's something that you're expecting as the attacking side, but it's a hassle to deal with.
Yeah, it's pretty much on Eclipse to try and take it out generally to be able to get an angle on it. They can at least spot it ahead of time with IQ, but walls potentially could get open here. But DarkZero has always been great at tricking these walls to stop them from getting opened. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. Nope, they're just going to let it get open. Just let a bigger breeze into CEO office.
Well, Nyx is rotated back up as he was stunned by the Zofia, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if the stun was used. Oh no, Zofia is still downstairs, so Eclipse definitely used his impact onto the pulse, but he's still roaming downstairs, and he knows that there's Zofia in here. Eclipse will have to run away and go back up to the balcony.
It's good, because then Nyx is going to be sitting there waiting and not being useful on site, so that was the right play. I mean, he could have taken some pre-fires first just to really kind of, you know, let him know he's there, he's going to be potentially coming in, but the heartbeat sensor will tell him he's not there, so Nyx can at least confirm he's not being pushed. Hot Cold has taken a lot of damage for being an elevator, though, and Doc's not in a position to be able to heal him up.
The damage done here easily will find that shot on Mint, eliminating the smoke. Huge operator that you'd like to use right about now. Even the Echo low on HP. Nitro Cell will go up, but will not connect with anyone downstairs. BC pre-fire here. Collision will not find anyone, and the fight, the UMP actually comes out on top. Vertical eliminated.
Well, Thatcher's job was done. Not a big deal.
Still Vertical in general, and not really looking forward to losing manpower at this point. BC will have to rotate away to find maybe the kill on easily, and the diffuser's not been set. 10 seconds left. Slash finds 2 kills of his own, but 2 again from Nyx. It's all being cleared out. Slash is so far away, he needs to go for the plant ASAP, but there's no time left as DarkZero will find yet another one.
On time again.
All for the Capitao to do, and you get the last second flank from the Pulse.
I want to contrast that to the first attack round on CEO from DarkZero. They swung in and planted. Like, I mean, at that point, I was almost expecting Rogue to still be prepping. You know, it was so early in the round. And you see Rogue losing on time instead. It's such a contrast between these two teams in terms of efficiency, in terms of smoothness of the way that they're playing, the coordination. Just not seeing it from Rogue. They're just, I mean, that was a better round for them in a lot of ways than some of their previous rounds. But they didn't have good flank hold, for one. You saw Nyx just kind of running up the stairs with no one really to contest him. He was playing on Rome for a long time. Yes, they didn't hunt him down, not a big deal. But they didn't have good enough flank watch once they got the walls open. It was not a great position to be in. Nyx creeping up towards those double digits at 9, Hyper at 8 as well. Closest we've got a Slash at 7, who I think is still doing his job adequately. I still got to credit. Not everyone on Rogue is really, I don't want to say slacking off, but in terms of like contributing to some of these rounds, Slash is still doing his job. It's the rest of the team that I'm not seeing show up a lot here.
I really don't know what to say, to be honest.
It's hard, you know, when it's this much, and I feel like this Pro League season already, across all the regions, has been landslide after landslide, just huge sweeps. Now it's not over yet. Rogue can make a huge comeback.
Oh boy.
That's not going to help. That was a worthwhile trade, especially if those pests were already set up. Yes, he won't be able to control them, but it still denies the drones. And Zofia down now, no soft breach available. That means those bulletproof cameras will be safe. Not a lot else matters because it's not like they have castle barricades or anything like that. But still, that's even floor that's not going to be open because now they don't have those breach charges.
Well, one thing I want to check, what is the IQ running, Marciu?
Yeah.
Could you
IQ and the Thatcher. I'd like to see if either of them are running breaches.
And a free kill. Doesn't matter. That's the Capitao eliminated. It's a huge kill. Shuttle will try to find the refrag, but Nyx just pops right down behind the counter. And the camera will finally be taken away. So now he pre-fires and Nyx. Another kill. He is absolutely on fire. Nyx, honestly, this man just never ceased to impress. Just absolutely insane plays there and doing so much work.
At this point, they're just... I mean, Rogue have got to be so tilted by now. Being at match point and then dying to 2 runouts, being left with just the 2 support operators, a Thatcher, a Thatcher and a Thermite is, I mean, they both start with TH, so maybe there's some synergy there that's going to pay off, but I don't think so. I mean, they are good buds, but it's not going to happen here.
He's waiting for the move. He's unsure. Easily will walk away for just a moment.
1.5 minutes into the round. and they've already lost most of their team. They're going to need to find some plays here. And the intel coming out from both the Black Eyes, the Bulletproof Cameras, and the Pulse, not to mention the Goo Mines. Where can Rogue go that they're not going to be identified? They're not going to get some surprise flanks at this point. BC looking to throw out some more Goo Mines as well. Easily at least opening some hatches finally. His first exothermic being used. He's also got 3 flashes left. And then there's the breach charges coming out from the Thatcher, but it doesn't matter. He gets the thermite traded. Oh, no.
Well, at this point, it's a pretty difficult call.
Plus, not going to be a draw for Rogue this time, I don't think. So they've avoided that.
Yeah.
Well,
always look on the bright side of life.
Fortunately, at this point, Rogue probably not going to be doing that. That is definitely a definitive win. 7-2. Some of those rounds even for Rogue that they won, just barely winning. Overall, that is the DarkZero we had not seen last week. That is the one we expected to see. That's the one we saw last season. They found their groove. Look at that.
So I was correct at least in saying that last playday was a fluke. 7-1 loss against Luminosity, right?
Yeah. I mean, it might not be fluke. Maybe Luminosity are just gods after all. I mean, they just got picked up for a good reason. They're one of those teams that comes in, out of CL and it just... And we always repeatedly bring up the comparison to Noble, of course, and how they did at the start of the season before breaking apart. But there's always chance for that, team to just be that dream team. And I think it'll be interesting to see how their match goes, which I believe is next, if I remember correctly.
Oh, we have a few matches coming up during the day. Yes, that is their next match. They play against Sonics.
So that should be interesting, and maybe another sweep. Because, I mean, if you compare how they've been performing so far, that could even be a 7-0. I mean, they 7-1 to DarkZero. And so, I mean, obviously, we'll see, and things could sweep around. There's been a lot of unexpected victories so far this season in just the first week. I don't want to keep saying upsets because it's more just that they're very, very unexpected, and of course it makes our public caster predictions that much trickier.
That's why I don't do them anymore.
Yeah, no, it's
like, there's no point.
You just gotta know you're gonna get something wrong because it's just.
What do you mean? I never got anything wrong. Wow. Okay, even production is coughing in the back. All right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I always like it when I'm right. Just always.
Well, we're just waiting for an interview from DarkZero, so we'll see who we talk to. Hopefully Nix. He's always eloquent to talk to, but I believe it's gonna be hot and cold, I guess.
We're waiting. The interview is being set up. They usually have this right after the match. They've won a few times.
They're too busy celebrating and, like, that was Swifty. Let's crack open some beers. Have a good time. I don't know. I don't know what they do afterwards. For all I know, they drink a cold glass of milk. I don't know.
They sit back and review VODs.
Just immediately.
Yes.
Well, it's always fun to see them, see the interview, and then you see them watching us or other things like that. Where
they actually watch us.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's good, though, that they're staying on top of it. But, yeah, that was... I almost don't even know what to say about that match, that just Rogue just did not look at home at all. They just... It's a good map for them, too. And this is the thing, is I'm criticizing them a lot because the bar is up here for Rogue, who are at least tying against good teams, who are showing that they can play still fairly well and that they're finding some of their synergy, and this is a good map for them. This is a one where they've seen DZ play it enough to know somewhat how they play it. The bans went fine for the most part. The operators being played just said, please roam. Yet DarkZero was the only one with a strong roam presence most of the time.
I mean, when Rogue were able to collect the 2 rounds that they did get...
Due to roam presence. So it's just...
Can you connect the dots at this point?
At this point, it's just like 2 dots. It's pretty...
Roam win.
Yeah, roam win, exactly. So it was definitely not Rogue's best performance, but... That being said, obviously they're going to, I imagine, review that and try and figure out what they might have done wrong.
They definitely will. We'll be looking at that this evening. Tomorrow.
I imagine Reaper will be on that pretty heavily.
I mean, Reaper is a big help for them as well.
Yeah, and I did last time. I did forget his name. Well, I didn't forget, but I wasn't sure if it was him. Is the pickup for the analyst? So him and Ranger both doing some work for that. But I don't think it paid off this round. I mean, it might have been an intel failure. It just may have been a coordination thing. But there was a lot of intel in favor. And I still feel like IQ was a big part of why any intel from defense did not work out. That could have helped having a Maestro potentially, maybe just because they might have had some evil eyes that weren't as easy to take out or deal with as some of the Yokais. But that being said, it just seemed like the defense could not muster any kind of advantage until Rome coming out from DZ.
All right, we'll have an interview, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put that up on the board and have a quick conversation with our buddy, well, Han Cold. Oh, he's back. Okay, I was told it was Nix, but so be it. I guess you're all in the same house, so it doesn't really matter, does it? How are you, man? Congratulations again on the victory. That was a runaway game, to say the least.
Yeah, I think we had a good attack side, obviously, that kind of translated into them kind of being off their game on defense, I think. Just kind of ran away with it after that.
Now, a question just looking at things from the outside. Was there any change in terms of strategy and thought compared to last week when you played 92 Dream Team, now Luminosity, and losing to them compared to your match now versus Rogue? Did you change anything? Do you think about it in a certain way?
No, I don't. We obviously, we didn't change anything. And we had a really, really, really bad day. Nothing. I mean, they played amazing that game, 92. Now Luminosity, congrats to them. I think we had a couple struggles coming on the team with Hyper, and I think we're slowly getting out of it. I think it showed today.
Oh yes, definitely. Now the whole team was pretty much on fire, but you were given a lot of time to prepare for your assaults on every single site on your attacking side. Were you afraid at any point that this was to lure you into roam play or any sort of flanks later on in the round? And how did you deal with it later on once that appeared to be the strategy from Rogue?
Are you talking about with the Vigil?
Yes,
Vigil roam?
But at first, before they actually ran the Vigil, and later when they did.
Rogue's always been a semi-aggressive team, so we expected some Vigil play from them. We tried to do a server rush when we knew they were roaming, and I think it was Vert on the Vigil got the better of us. But other than that, we knew it was coming. We just handled it wrong.
It was very straightforward, to be completely honest. Like, we're trying to look for some details in there, but what really was the thought behind going for the run out in the very last round? Was it just to try and come on, as they say, tilt them off the face of the planet, or was it more of a clear, concise strategy, or maybe just a try?
No, we weren't trying to tilt them. It's just like when you're down 6-2 and it's match point, you're not really thinking about spawn peaks half the time. Like he wasn't even looking nowhere near me, so it's like the best time to try that aggressive stuff. And we have rounds to play with. We just thought we'd do it.
It ended up working very well for you. There was one play from Nix. This is the last point, I guess. Nix enters open area and finds 3 kills for free in specifically round number 5 when you're still on the attack. He was playing the IQ in there. Was there any drone to give him information on players in there? Was he walking in solo, droning for himself? How was it when you were looking at it from your perspective as a teammate?
Yeah, we knew what they were doing. I had a drone that I was just sitting on, literally off spawn, so he took it. I called that they had to rotate, killed the first guy, killed the second guy. Then after that, that's all him. He's just playing off of his own info.
This is something that honestly is very impressive with DarkZero. The team as a whole just seems to be able to capitalize on information better than really most people in Pro League. And this is something that's very impressive to watch. And that game is definitely the case. There was nothing that Rogue really was able to do throughout the whole matchup. That said, again, congratulations on your match. That was a 101 of how you play any of these sorts of things and strategies and setups. But anything you'd like to say to the DarkZero fans out there?
I just want to say thank you to all the fans. Love you guys, and sorry that we've been struggling lately. We're gonna try and stop that, obviously. And thank you very much.
All right. Well, Han Cold, congratulations again on your victory. We'll hope to see you later on in the week for your second matchup of this one.
All right.
Good night.
Have a good one, Milosh.
Bye-bye.
It's good to hear the logic behind the spawn peaking in terms of them not expecting the point, because it's true. You're going to be very, very focused on this is our last chance potentially. Like if we lose this round, we're out. They're solidly focused on their execute, maybe on their droning. The last thing they're going to be thinking about is runouts and spawn peaks, and that's just good overall psychology. Like I said, they had rounds to play with as well. So if it didn't work, it didn't work. Not a big deal. And obviously, if you throw that round, it's not great, but
yeah.
I'm glad to see the old DarkZero back, and I'm a little bit disappointed in Rogue. And of course, I know I've been a little harsh, but that's just somewhat a fan of the team. I'd like to see them do a lot better, and it's just it hasn't been there, and I gotta wonder what it is. I almost wish we could interview Ranger just to ask what's going on with the team, but obviously you don't get interviewed the loser to be like, why did you lose today? So
yes,
not gonna happen.
That's a very good point. You know, you should be a producer at some point in time, definitely.
Just be a blank screen.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that is all she wrote for game number 1. DarkZero end up beating their opponents of Rogue 7-2 on Bank. We still have 3 more matches to go. Sonics versus Luminosity Gaming. They were a 92 Dream Team. The dream has been made. They're Luminosity. Let's see how they do in their premier organization matchup for Pro. Thank you very much. We'll be back in a bit.